Hey guys, Caitlin with Gravel here, and today we are exploring the Insta360 Go 3S. This is the smallest 4K camera on the market, even smaller than when inside of this box. I mean, look at it! It's so cute and so tiny. I am absolutely obsessed with this. Today we're gonna be going over this camera as well as the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and why I think these two together are perfect for travel. So let's get into it. Come over. Good job. Come take a break. So the perks of this camera are obviously that you literally can take this thing anywhere. Like holding this in my fingertips right now feels crazy that this can record 4K. But I love it because I can just throw it up into this little hat clip or onto my chest and film just everyday life, which is really fun. Which at the end of the day is kind of what it's all about, is just capturing moments. And any camera that lets you do that is a good camera. Another huge perk of the Go 3S is all of the fun accessories that come with the standard bundle of this camera for $429. If you're gonna get the 128GB, you get obviously all of this and everything that you see on the screen. So you may be thinking, why wouldn't you just carry an Insta360 or the Osmo Pocket 3? And I think they do very different things. The Osmo Pocket 3 shoots log, and the 4K footage, it just looks better, even though they do technically record at a similar bit rate. But the sensor on the Pocket 3 is a 1-inch sensor, whereas the sensor on this, I'm not even sure the size of it. It has to be much smaller. But you're getting a nicer image with the Osmo Pocket 3. So if you want to just basically film everything with the Osmo Pocket 3, but then use this as your POV camera, your waterproof camera, I think them together for how small of a footprint they are is totally feasible. Hands down, one of the best parts of this camera is all of the places that you can put this camera and do super, super epic shots. You are literally not limited to any singular thing. So this is a great example. If you have any of these kind of really fun mounts, you literally can put this camera anywhere. Oh look, you guys, right here we have a Gravel travel blanket, the layover blanket, one of my favorite products we make. Incredible. I take it everywhere with me. This angle is so fun. Okay, so as you can see, this little Joby tripod is so legit. I love it because it's so tiny. It matches the form factor of this camera. It'll be linked below. Something that's great with both of these cameras is the fact that they fit in your pocket. Like, look. Literally, here's my tiny pocket. DJI Osmo Pocket 3 being true to its name. And then this one obviously is even smaller. But with all these trees, this angle is freaking off. As you can see, this is a really beautiful river spot. And then right here, we've got where you can commonly find some metal. Which, because this thing is metal, I'll pop it on there. And now I can get a shot of me riding by and no one even knows that camera's there. I think there used to be a world where only Casey Neistat could film like this because he was brave enough to have his big ginormous camera on a tripod and he'd set it down, he'd ride by, he'd come and get it. There's a lot to be said and effort that is in those shots, but now having this thing just be right here next to a big old cobweb and I can just go like this and then be on my way is pretty epic. Okay, one thing I did just notice, you need to lock the orientation if you don't want it to be flipping from portrait to landscape, because this camera, one of its perks is that it will auto do that for you. So the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which is what I'm filming on right now, you're hearing audio through the Osmo Pocket 3, has been an incredible travel camera for me. I absolutely love it. It's made me film almost all of my travels when I'm out because it's so easy to just grab out of the bag. But then you bring this into play and it's like, oh, it's even smaller. The reason I do love the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is this form factor. I'm holding it, it feels like a real camera. It doesn't feel like an action camera, whereas the Insta360 Go 3S does feel like an action camera until you pop this little guy out of its little house. Let me do that. When it is in this form factor, it's pretty incredible because it's so tiny. Of course, there's the hat clip and go right on top. And for me, I think that's gonna be how I'll be using it when I travel, is on the hat clip, so that I can basically just be capturing like the airplane, everything like that. And you could, of course, vlog with it as well. So I'm gonna switch from the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Audio is just straight to the camera, to this one, straight to camera audio as well. So now you're hearing from the Instago 3S, the onboard mic, everything as is. I did notice if you hold it on the side of the lens, you're going to see your fingers. You want to make sure you're holding it on the other side. It is kind of hard to know what orientation this camera is, but it does digitally flip for you. So that's something you want to be aware of. I'm gonna flip from this audio to the Osmo Pocket 3 onboard audio, and you can hear a little bit difference in those mics, but both of them are exceptionally good. For example, I am comfortable replacing my FX3 on a trip with the Osmo Pocket 3. I really am. The footage is so impressive. But I would be pretty bummed and not down to only have this camera. And you'll see it in the footage. This footage just looks a lot nicer. I will say one of the biggest downsides of this camera is how slow it is to transfer. Right now, it's not taking too long because I'm not transferring that many clips, but it is incredibly slower than fast SD cards because this is an internal memory. They do make a reader, but it's actually not released yet, so I haven't been able to purchase and try it. But once it's out, I think that will definitely make this a lot faster. You're able to basically put your clips from here onto a micro SD, and then you can throw the micro SD into your computer. I purchased the 128GB version. I almost got the 64GB, and I'm happy I didn't because I could see how the 64 for travel, you'd have to be uploading your footage like quite often, especially while wearing this as a POV camera, because when you're recording POV, you're going to be recording for longer. You're not doing as purposeful shots. So I highly recommend the 128 if you're going to be getting this camera for travel. One thing that is kind of nice is if you're traveling with the Osmo Pocket 3 and the Go 3S, you're going to be able to just plug them both in with USB-C if you don't have that quick reader, which is what I'm doing for both. This takes a micro SD card, so you can actually benefit from those fast transfer speeds. But if you forget maybe your micro SD card reader, then you could just do USB-C to both of these to get your footage onto your computer. One huge component that I almost forgot to cover is that this camera has Find My built in. So Apple Find My compatibility. This is huge for travel because if you're a traveler, you for sure have an AirTag or some kind of device like it that you have in your luggages, your backpacks, maybe like your fanny pack, the thing you carry with you in case it gets stolen or if an airline loses your bag. Now, why isn't that in every camera? Like, why isn't that in the FX3? If they can put it in the little tiny camera, it should be in our bigger cameras too that cost, I don't know, like sometimes 10 times the price. So catch up, Sony. Okay, so other traveling creators, let us know in the comments if this is a camera you're gonna be adding to your traveling camera bag, and if not, let us know too. I'm always curious of your opinions. We aren't sponsored by any of these products, so all of these videos are just solely based on use and experience and opinions. We're not being influenced by any of these companies. So it's really fun because it means we can have a full-on conversation, negative or positive, about these products. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do that so you can join the Gravel Travel community. We're making more videos like this every single week. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.